Who are you? Answering this very simple but thoughtful question can change a lot of things. It could even change your life.
So, quick question. Have you ever found yourself trying to fit in or living a life that really isn't yours? For example, based on your parents' choices or your loved one's choice. And then you come to a realization. You get to the point where you know that this isn't really who I am. And perhaps by the time you realize that, you've already gone far with pleasing, with, seeking validations, and you don't even recognize who that person is anymore. See, I think that identity is something that a lot of us have struggled with, or even still struggling with. I have struggled with identity, especially the moment that I moved to Europe. I had to start my life all over. I was just trying to get to know this person because that was a period that I spent in solitude. I spent a lot of time with myself. I didn't have friends. I didn't have a job. I couldn't even go out. I was partially immobile, I couldn't ride a bicycle, which was a necessity in Europe. And I think that's a story for another day. But then I started to write. And I wrote a couple of blog posts about identity. If you're an avid reader of my blog, you would notice that a lot of my posts was really about searching and finding yourself and doing what you love, living your purpose. Now, we have been hearing be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. I think I probably got tired of hearing be yourself. And then, but why am I here to say almost the same thing? That's because I have come to realize that you can't be who you don't even know. How can you be yourself when you don't even know who that person is? And the moment that I had to sit down and answer this question, who are you? Sincerely, that was the moment that I became free. And I realized that there were so many parts of me that needed to be discovered. So have you really had a moment in your life where you sat down to answer this question for yourself? And I'm not talking about the answer you give when you're at a job interview, all the fine words and all the professional words that will make you get a job. I'm talking about who you perceive yourself to be and who you really know that you are. And I know that identity evolves. I know that we are constantly seeking and searching, trying to find ourselves, trying to find what our purpose is in life. But at the moment, can you really say that you know who you are? I will be sharing a few tips that has helped me stay true to this my journey in life. And the first thing is stop trying to be liked or appreciated. I know that sounds very harsh, but really that has worked for me. And it is very natural to seek appreciation or likeness or even validations, whatever you choose to call it. But then it kind of shifts when we realize that we are not getting that likeness and appreciation that we deserve. With the emergence of social media, you can't get validations from total strangers. And I have fallen into that pit hole. I have found myself posting things just for the sake of the likes, the comments, the validations. And I didn't care at that point, even though they came from strangers. As long as it made me feel good, whether it was short term, I just was happy to be liked. I was just happy that someone thought that I looked nice, someone thought that I was smart or intelligent. But see, what that did to me is that it got into my head that when those validations stopped coming, for example, you post something, you keep checking, how many likes has it gotten, It just drives you crazy. That is really not necessary. The moment that I answered that question, honestly, that was the time I realized that I do not need to perform. I'll share something with you guys. See, when I started my YouTube channel, which is just a few months ago, I found myself hiding my story from every writer on that platform, which was Instagram, by the way, because as a writer, I didn't think that anyone would take me serious because I was on YouTube. And it's not as if that I do not like what I was doing. As a matter of fact, I was really glad that I had discovered another way to, inspire people in my own little way, apart from writing. And of course, you share your videos because apart from the fact that you want your channel to grow, you hope that it reaches the people that the video was meant to reach, And why was I doing that? I had to sit down and ask myself, were you killing someone? No. Were you hurting somebody? No. What you're doing, is it something that your child will look back and be embarrassed about? No. I was doing what I love, but I wasn't comfortable because I was afraid that I would not be liked or taken serious. And that comes from a fact that I wanted to fit into that perfect category of a writer. But now I know that there are many sides of me that needs to be discovered. And the people who are genuinely connected to me would grow with me, just like I will with them. So the second thing I'd say is never be afraid to shine your light. This is very tricky because yes, you have discovered yourself. Yes, you know who you are, but you can only be that person when you're around certain kind of people. And that is really me. So I know that I'm very goofy. I am very playful. I am just a very free-spirited human being. But again, I could switch from that person to a very introverted person. I love my space and I love my quiet time. And that could go on for a very long time. And so the moment I realized that all of this is what comes with the package of being Angel, then I started to love and embrace all of me, you know, every flawed part of me and all the beautiful things about myself. And that is why I said, do not be afraid to shine your light. I think that people who love us would accept all that we are, just like we are open to accept all that they are. And one thing we do unconsciously, which is something that I have really tried to work on, is that we judge people for just being themselves. And I think that that comes from a place of fear. When we see people who just, you know, show up the way they are and they are just free, we tend to think that they're too much. You know, that person is too much. Oh, she's just loud. Oh, that person thinks that she's so special because she's so quiet. She doesn't want to, you know, associate herself with other people. I just don't think that that's right. As a matter of fact, I know now that the reason why I used to judge certain people is because I liked them secretly. And I just wanted to be as free as they are. But I couldn't, or I thought that I couldn't. And so I feel like, that person is just this and that and that. Now I know that no one is stopping me from being myself, that I am free to just be who I am and do the things that I love. And I would do whatever I want to do. As long as I'm not hurting anyone, I would do it with love and so much passion. So whether you are free-spirited or very calm and reserved, or even both, just be yourself. So the third and final thing I would say is to go where you are celebrated. As a writer and a storyteller, I believe so much in the power of telling your story unapologetically, you know, truthfully, and the way you choose to tell that story, and whether that is just showing up as you are. See, because what you do is that when you show up the way you are liberating the one who is coming behind you. And I hope that by just showing up and being myself and staying true to my journey, that someone out there would be inspired. So one thing that helped me, you know, when I was struggling to fit in, and I just didn't, was that I created platforms that I thought people could relate with. So for example, while I was, you know, feeling this loneliness in a new country, I started to share my experience of what I was going through on my blog, and I hoped that someone would read it and resonate with it, and if they were going through the same thing, they would know that they were not alone. And it's the same thing that I'm trying to bring onto this channel, which is to be very open and honest as possible, and to just share a bit of my experience, hoping that it inspires someone out there. So you could start where you are with what you have. You do not need big things to do that. You'll be shocked at how many people you could inspire and how many genuine people you could connect with. And that is the beauty of it, because you do not need to perform for those genuine people that you have attracted. You just are yourself, and whoever loves you would love you for that person that you are. So this was a very quick video, but I hope that you learned a thing or two. If you really liked this video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to join the Happyblacky family. You're welcome. I'll be so glad to have you here. That will be it for this video, guys. See you in my next video. Bye-bye. So whether you are an accountant, Angel, be serious, please. You don't have time. Be serious. No battery. final thing I would say, I'm rushing because I have to go and pick my child, and I've been trying to shoot this video. This is the 7th time, so I have to get it right.